Coming up to the match, it was all about Killian Buckley, who had a quiet first half, better in the second half, but Walsh there, reminiscent of his brother Tommy's super score.
Just over 7 minutes to go now as David Burke tries to set something up here. It's with Greg Lally, and Galway needed a score, but between that one and the Conor Whelan effort a little while ago, the confidence levels are beginning to just ebb away and drain away now at this stage.
You know, it's nearly as if Galway thought the game was over at half-time. They came out, first half, all guns blazing, huge work rate, huge intensity, but you have to do that for the whole 70 minutes, and, you know, Kilkenny just closed up shop at half-time around the half-back line. Michael Fennelly in particular has been immense, as he was last year in the final against Tipperary, and Galway just dropped their work rate, and that's the main difference.
Shane Maloney, who rescued Galway right at the very end of the Tipperary match and got the winner that day, has just come on for Jason Flynn, who had a great first half with frees and one great point, but didn't do an awful lot in the second half. He has now been replaced. They've had to make a lot of changes. They have made 5 changes now that I can see so far. One of them might have been a temporary sub, but changes have been made. Joe Canning's about to take this. This has put 4 between them. They'll have 5 minutes or a little under of the 70, but there'll surely be another 2 minutes added on to that. 7 points from Joe Canning, all of them in the first half, nothing at all in the second. Can he rectify that situation? He seems to have done so with his 8th. There is still a pulse. There's still a possibility for Galway. 4 minutes to go.
Yeah,
edge of the seats.
They need the next score, Jared. They need to get back to a goal. When you're in a goal in hurling, you know, you're obviously in the game, and the game can turn very, very quickly.
Owen Murphy's goal has rarely been under threat, however, it has to be said. Galway trying to win this in their own half-back line. David Collins down there, number 22, in the thick of it, but it's Kilkenny who emerge with it. Walter Welch trying to set up an opportunity there for one of the powers, a bit like last year when the 2 powers, Richie and John, featured in this replay against Tipperary and did so well. Goal and a point each that day. Porrick Walsh back in, not a great clearance. Straight to David Collins, seemed to be fouled by Walter Welch. Play continues, and it's Colin Fennelly now taking that pass in his stride, 22 metres out, and it flashes over the bar. A second for Colin Fennelly, one of those fiercely determined competitors for Kilkenny, gifted, a little unpredictable, came on in 2012 in the replay and got one of the 3 goals that day. 2 points here today might be enough. 5 between them. Yeah,
he's a huge engine. He stays going strong to the end, and, you know, 2 points there in the last few minutes, massive from him.
Cathal Mannion, it's a goal that Galway need at this stage. Kilkenny denying them, however, just encamped there around that D area and refusing to yield anything for the tribesmen. No clear openings. Once again, the referee forced to throw it in. That must be about 4 or 5 times he's had to do that in this match. Not typical of an All-Ireland final, which is usually much more free-flowing. Kilkenny have shown the resolve and the determination, but it's Cathal Mannion who emerges with it, gets it back there as far as Conor Cooney. The man who's been out of hurling for so long has missed another one, and now they have had 3 wides in a row there. That's 12 wides in all in this match, and he realizes it's certainly not going their way. Hasn't given up the ghost, however. Lost by 7 in the Leinster final to Kilkenny. Promised they'd be back, but it hasn't really got any better. 5 between them. They need something special. Porrick Mannion all the way down, trying to slip it in there towards Shane Maloney, but this time it's Paul Murphy who keeps a very close eye on him. Great catch. Owen Larkin laid off as far as TJ Reid. 2 men waiting for it in the inside. It's the 2 powers, Richie and John. And that time it was Richie playing it across the field. Michael Fennelly's first effort was blocked down by David Burke. Goes a second time. They have a winning look about them at this stage, if there was any doubt. They have dominated the second half. They've been much the better team in the 33, nearly 34 minutes we've had so far. And they have opened up a 6-point lead, or is it it's a 5-point lead.
6 point, Jerry.
6, yeah. That's bad. Walter Welch to make it 7. 2 for Walter Welch in this final.
Yeah, this is what they do. You know, Richie Power there, you mentioned him. came on last year for his first game of the year against Limerick in the All-Ireland semi-final, changed that game, had a brilliant final, and to come on here in the final again has made a big difference, has created a couple of scores there, and Walter Walsh is in a massive second half again.
It's like they've turned on the tap after half-time, and Galway haven't really had an answer so far. Conor Whelan charging in, loses his footing, however, as he lost possession as well and lost the chance. Again, he picks it up here. He's a very daring young player who has given everything he's got, Conor Whelan, in this match. I'm not sure is it going to be enough on this particular afternoon. There are going to be 2 minutes of added time. Galway have a free on the 20-metre line. They simply have to go for a goal here. It's Joe Canning's turn. 8 points so far. A quiet word there from Shane Maloney to Joe Canning, the 26-year-old. This has to go into the back of the net, and they have to hope that there's time for another one. 7 points adrift, he hits it, it's trickling around on the line, and it's TJ Reid who's back there, trying to work his way out, forced out over the end line there. It's going to be a 65. But TJ Reid, a man for all seasons, a man for all positions as well. A goal and 7 points this afternoon. So once again, it's Joe Canning who's going to have to take this. Second time of asking, it slips through and they have a goal. Goal and 8 now for Joe Canning. So 122 to 118, but we've already played 1 minute of the added time. It was second time of asking.
Yeah, great strike, Ger, but you know, the same thing I often say, too many people on the line. See TJ Reid there behind Paul Murphy, just missed it and trickled into the net.
So it's a 4-point game, and Galway have to try and come again, but they're now only about 30 seconds away from the finish of this match. And Kilkenny will hold on, you would imagine. And Brian Cody once again on the sideline, ready to salute another major victory. And you think about it, 35 national trophies this will be when this one finishes in a few seconds' time. What a record over the years. That one drops in there and drops over the bar, I think. No, it's gone to the left, it's gone to the left, and disappointment there for Richie Power, but good to see him back. They're counting down the seconds, the Kilkenny crowd, as Pádraig Mannion plays it out of defence to Richie Reid to TJ Reid once again, and it's now all over, and the cheering is Kilkenny who are cheering. Brian Cody and his backroom team celebrate once again. Kilkenny have retained their title and won another All-Ireland final, and the players are celebrating. It's a 2 in a row this time for Brian Cody and his squad as they see off the challenge of Anthony Cunningham's Galway. It's like Kilkenny were winning it for the first time in ages. They have that passionate desire, it's still there. Broken-hearted Joe Canning on his hands and knees. Across goes Shane Prendergast for a quiet word. Even the doctor is jumping around there for joy, Dr. Ty Crowley. Kilkenny just mastered Galway in the second half. 4 points to show at the finish. Kilkenny 122, Galway 118. Well, the Kilkenny roller coaster under this man, Brian Cody. There's Conor Cooney, who came on, having been out of the game for over a year, all devastated, and understand